Hello, 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 everyone. How are you all today?
Hi, everyone.
I'm
I,
just sitting here with a nice full tummy thinking it sure would be nice to take a nap.
I won't let her.
I went out for breakfast this morning, so got a full tummy. So today, to start off, I challenge, Kim and her challenges. What can I say? I decided I had one that we should do together. And
Hi,
we're going
Carol.
to call it our section on Fridays, just a little section of it.
Hi, Sherry.
Finish it. You can say that however you want, but we did not use a dirty word. We just ran the words together. So,
I,
anyway,
I, I would use the dirty word, just so you know.
so anyway, we're going to try to make sure we finish something every week. So, we're going to put it on Kim and see what she finished this week.
Well, because the beautiful Carol is here. Hey, Chrissy. Nice to see you. Because the beautiful Carol's here and Cindy is not yet. Hi, Arlene. Nice to see you. Carol's doing the 100 tiny painting challenge. And because I was on, she was talking, her and Cindy were talking about it on Moni's channel. And I was in the background painting because I've got a big painting project I'm working on. I am doing this 100 tiny painting challenge. Hey, Susan. So these are my first 10 that I did. I started March 2nd. We have a year to do this. So this is number 1. This is number 2. You can tell what I'm working on palette wise because that's what's this is number 3, number 4, and of course I'm just using whatever bits I have on the desk to paint on, right? I'm not cutting them all equal like Cindy did. Cindy cut them all a certain size. The lady who's running the thing cut them all a certain size. That's 5. That's 6. 7.
I love that one.
8.
I like that one too.
9. And 10.
Awesome. Well, I don't have that many, but I have a journal that I have been working on. My goal is to fill up the started journals. And this is actually the last page that I already have painted and taped. I have this one painted and then we're done. But this one, I finished this week. And
I
this
love that.
one, and all of these were in different varying stages of completion. And then I
Oh,
finished this. So hopefully soon I will be able to do a flip through of my
hi,
at least
Anne.
one of my journals.
Hi, Chrissy.
But I wanted to share one more little thing today because I just was fiddling. I had went into Canva with a whole different plan, and this is what I made.
Look at this, guys.
This is a painty paper, a watercolor paper that I can doodle on, already done, and it was printed.
She
So I
did that in
really,
Canva. I'm jealous.
yeah, I'm really like this. When I do work on these, I do like to take watercolor and bleed the colors out. I don't know if that's going to work on a printed thing or not, but you know what? It's ink. It may bleed a little, just like I'm wanting. If not, I can use colored pencils. So, but I am going to doodle this, and I may make more because this was crazy fun. And it took me less time to digitally create this than it does to paint one.
Because it's dry. You don't
Yeah,
have to wait for things to dry.
Yeah. One more little thing I want to share just because it's here. Sort of show Kim. I'm going to a girls' retreat this summer, and it's all my classmates. Well, not all of them, because there was like close to 400 in our class, but whoever wants to, it should be a group of at least 20. And I designed these. I was going to make them, and then I thought, no, this would be a fun little project to sit and do while we're all sitting around the table chit chatting. So I kind of like it.
I like
And
it.
I don't have to buy anything to make these.
Surprise.
I have everything that we need, and I have enough that they could make a couple. So, anyway, that's all
That's
for
awesome.
that.
That's
Let's
awesome.
get on to today's topic.
No.
No, okay.
I want to shake my finger at Carol. I was watching you this morning, Carol. I couldn't get that braid stitch no how, no way. I ended up with starting a new project. And it all turned into blanket stitch. But I looked at this and I thought that, oh, wouldn't those make great eyelashes? So now, not only do I have this going, this is not bad. Whatever, but now I can see that as eyelashes on a Goonie bird because I want to make a 3D Goonie bird. That braided blender, yeah, it was brutal. Hey, Monica, nice to see you. Who else have I missed? Chrissy's here, and Sherry, and Susan, and Arlene, and Anne. Who else? I don't know who else I've missed. But hi, guys. Nice to see you. All right, let's get on with the balls.
Hi, everyone. If I haven't mentioned you by name, it's partially because it scrolls so fast, and if I keep watching the screen, who knows if the vertigo is going to hit. So I appreciate all of you that have came to watch or sit and play with us or yell at us or whatever it is that you want to do today, because that's what we're doing, what we want to do. So
Yep,
I'm going to share my balls.
yep. Jean's sharing her balls.
Yep. So this one is a wool ball. Let me make me
Go
self.
big. Nope, center stage. Center stage.
So this one is wool, and I just stitched on it. This is all the blanket stitch and chain stitch, and then whatever this stitch is, I don't recall. It's not a satin, but anyway. So that's one. We have a lot, so we're just going to kind of jump them together. I love French knots, so I got tired of doing the blanket stitch, so did the French knots there because they're just crazy wool felt balls that I've, whoops, just stitched on. This one I stitched on a wool felt circle.
We weren't laughing, Carol. I felt your pain.
So again, these are just wool balls that are stitching on, which the scrappy balls can be anything. Um, this is a small ball of yarn covered with dyed cheesecloth. And by dyed, I mean watercolor paint on it, you know. And then this is some of my homemade
Hi,
homespun
Cindy.
wool. And I'm going to pull out the wool balls just so you can kind of get an idea. This is a wool ball, but then it's got wool circles all stitched on it. Still scrappy because it was all scraps, right?
They're lovely. Jean
And
has
some of,
lovely balls.
I thank you. And some of my balls get distorted in different shapes. You know, couching is on these two. And this is a wool ball, but it's all scraps stitched very sloppily, which that is my favorite thing to do. I love to stitch it sloppy. I love that look because I can make mistakes and nobody can tell me it's wrong. So this one again, this one actually is a yarn ball inside. And then these are all stitched on just however I felt like. I did do a few French knots. For some reason, there's a straight pin stuck in there.
Oh, it's a pincushion. Ooh.
Yep. I must not have took them out when I finished them. No wonder I'm running out of pins. I better check them all. So now we're down to some real scrappy ones. This one is a yarn ball. You can slightly see it right there. And oh, right here's a better picture. And this is just felt that I had cut holes out of that I saved because my felt that I've been using is wool. And I just didn't want to part with it. It's not cheap. So I just kept layering it until I thought it was covered well. Scrappy. This is a yarn ball. Scraps of fabric, little bitty, like 1 inch squares. And then I just kind of overlapped them, fit them in there, whatever they needed. Again, that sloppy, satiny stitch kind of thing. And of course, all colors.
And what kind of threads did you use?
Most of the time it's embroidery floss or pearl cotton. It just depends upon what color it, I happen to grab, actually. This one was a yarn ball with fabric strip. And then this is some of this is thread and some of this is one strand of embroidery floss. And it's just whatever stitches I want. Kind of call it a Franken ball, I guess you could, because
Oh,
it's
I like
wild
that.
stitches. This is a yarn ball with patches of fabric. After I did it, I had spaces and I thought, oh, let's fill those spaces with French knots because why? I can. And this one here is a yarn ball. Again, the scrappy little bits of paper. Most of these were actually strips. And I did these multicolored. Some of this is variegated and some of it's just going over and over and over it with different colors because I really like that. And that's probably my new favorite stitch now. And I did the same thing here, except this is a yarn ball and the whole thing is just crazy long stitches wherever I want to put in whatever one color. In fact, it probably could use more colors. And then here's another one, just the fabric and whatever stitches. A few of these have stitches on the fabrics too. Not all of them do. They could when I get ready to do that. This is a felt ball that started with all French knots. As you can see, it's going to take me a long time because I'd like to cover the whole thing in French knots. And I come on here with my leftovers, and that's when I do that. This is a yarn ball, and it's covered with the felt circles. I still have a few to stitch on. And then I'm stitching beads in each circle. So that one's pretty fun. And these are blanks. And so this one here still is in process. This is yarn, then fabric with a few stitches just to kind of tack it all in. And then another yarn over it. And now I'm doing long sloppy stitches everywhere just to, it's also in process. So this one here is a bunch of different yarns, shorter pieces. And I've just wound it and I have this one set aside to do next because it's just weird. And I thought I'd like that sparkle in there. And I'm just going to go like this and wrap it up until I'm out of this yarn. And if I want to add another one, I mean, probably I would take this one off because I kind of want it to be the last layer. So this is going to be the end. And I don't stitch anything down like that. I just tack it down because the stitches are going to get it eventually. And this one here, we all have done projects and have yarn left over. This might be enough for a row and something, but I don't really crochet or use it much. So I'm going to just use it as a ball because it's already a ball shape. And so that will be it. But I want to show you my favorite thing because I don't know if everybody has this, but I think I've told you I bought well, I didn't buy, it was all given to me, a bunch of plastic canvas kits.
Yeah.
And these are all the leftovers. And in my opinion, they're all around 36 inches long. I'm not going to make something where I got to tie all these pieces together. It's just not going to happen. Well, it might have at one time when I really crocheted. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and start a ball. And there, I'm done. So I'm going to pick another one and try to make sure I catch the end just so it doesn't come out. That's all. And I'll keep going until I get this the size I want. Now, yes, I grabbed pink and I'm using all these or just pink, but you can use any color you wanted because this would have normally went in the trash. If I wouldn't have took it, that lady probably would have took it to the landfill. So I thought, and sometimes they don't want to work quite the way you want them. I don't like to pull them too tight at the beginning because I need it to be big enough to hold on to. Once it gets big enough to hold on to, it's much easier to keep them in place. So you can go as big or as little as you want. And all I'm using is the stuff that's left over that really, I suppose if you were making something and this could be uh, an eyeball. I mean, if it was the right color, one stitch of something. But
I like eyeballs.
yes, you do. And I'm just going to continue wrapping until it gets to be the size I want. When you get so far, that's when you want to start paying attention to the shape in case you need to make it, bigger, littler, rounder, that kind of stuff.
I have a mess because this we've had the discussion before in the past about this silly thing of thread I bought and the entire bottom cracked out. Now it's beautiful shiny thread, but if you leave it standing up too long, it all falls off the bottom. So instead of finding an end and using it for thread, I just kind of pull off a bunch of stuff and use it underneath when I'm doing tags and tucks and that kind of thing. We're just making scrappy balls. Jean has a project to use hers up. I She keeps hers in a jar.
Yeah, they sit in my living room.
I'm not sure what mine are going to be yet. I'll probably just have a bowl of them so I can throw them at the grandkids. Change from the eyeballs.
Yep. So what I'm doing now is I have these threads and they're older. They're on those styrofoam things. And I mean, they're good for hand sewing, but honestly, I won't put them on my sewing machine because I got reprimanded by the sewing machine repairman. He says you can't use that Walmart thread on your sewing machine. Don't use old thread. So I put them all in a bag and I'm just pulling off. I mean, I saved my scraps, but I think I made one the other day. And this is my scrap tube is pretty close to empty. There's just a tiny little bit in there. So, um, and I put everything in there: scraps of yarn, scraps of thread, you know, scraps of not really fabric, but stringy scraps. So I'm just going to keep rolling these and pulling them off the spool until they make a cute little ball. This is probably one of my favorite, but I haven't gotten them to be very big. And I just put them in the bag so I don't have to worry about them going everywhere. I
It's
think,
almost supposed to be a square, like a cube.
yeah, they want to when you're rolling them up. They sure do. You can make scrappy squares, but scrappy balls just sounds so much more interesting.
It does.
And this is not one. My fingernails are getting in the way of wrapping this one. So it's going to be odd shaped to start with because I got to get it big enough to hold on to.
Okay, so I've got this little, I don't want my balls very big. You know, I'm a 12-year-old child. The word just makes me smile. Um, so now what do? I just take a needle and thread and just kind of stitch around
Uh
until
huh.
it's round and I can put beads on or whatever I like.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I'm going to start with this one. And I could start right away and putting scraps on here, and that's usually when I what I do. Um,
Good girl, Moni. Good girl. Jean has young grandkids that watch her streams, so we have to be a little.
no, Riley is the only one allowed to watch them, and I don't know that he watches.
Okay.
The others have children's YouTube.
Okay.
So when I do something with like this one, which I guess I'll start with this one because it is
Hey,
right
Jen.
here. Um, I found this needle and it's got thread on it. So I'm like, all right, I don't have to thread a needle for at least a second or two. Anyway, I will just take this, and it's a short needle, so I won't like that very well.
Nice to see you, Jen.
And I just go in and crazily random stitch things down just so that they are going to stay, especially when it's a ball of mixed sizes. Where
Jen,
this one
hey,
is
babe.
all one thing, I could easily start right off with some fabric on it because it's going to pretty much hold its shape. But I'm just there is no plan to this right now. I'm just securing threads, and I'm just using, I think this is embroidery floss, but I'm not sure. I don't even know where it came from. All I know is that it was laying up here and I am using it. So, and I'm just going to stitch these down just to kind of keep everything in place, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do with it. A lot of people I've seen, and by the way, um,
Ah,
I don't know if Arlene can find it, but there's a group called Scrappy Balls on Facebook, and yeah, they have some
Arlene
amazing
can
ones.
find anything.
Yeah, I know, but
She's challenging you, Arlene.
it's really, really, really cool, and they have some fancy ones, and they have some ugly ones, and it's all kinds actually. I mean, and it's really interesting to see.
Okay, Jan, give her a big smooch for me, okay? A big cyber smooch.
So I'm going to take this time. I'm going to take um this thread. Well, no wonder that was so easy. It's actually knotted on the eye, so I won't worry about that. I'm just going to take a spool of thread, and I'm going to cut anything off, and I'm just going to secure this on with the spool of thread. This is going to kind of give it more of a base. I can fill it in, or I can leave it. And having recently put, oh, there we go. Thank you, Arlene. That's a really cool place, guys. It really is. Um, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, upon moving my art or sewing room to the spare bedroom, um, I did not know how much thread I had. Oh my goodness. And so I have plenty. I won't run out even if I made a ton of balls like this. So, but see, even this is pretty. I could see not having to stitch on it easily because it looks cool. And on our junk embroidery we were doing, I actually put one of my scrappy balls on it.
She did.
And it was kind of like this one's turning out as kind of flat on the sides but round around. I mean, I can wrap until it changes its shape. I can pull it tighter till it, changes its shape. So now I can do whatever I want to it after it's done. If I wanted to, I could pull a whole bunch more thread off and just start stitching it on. And I am going to pull some off because I want to anchor this inside the ball. So I got to get a needle. And I use big needles because most of the time my balls aren't so tight that I have to use a real sharp needle. Even the big needles, I'm having trouble threading.
I'm not having trouble threading. I'm just using myself.
So I am just going to stitch through that. That thread ain't going nowhere. And it's fun when you're sitting and watching TV to do this. Just get you a long thread and long needle and just sit and stitch until they're covered. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do to this ball is just stitch.
You
Nothing
know
else.
what, Jen? I don't think they would be good for cat toys because as soon as they start unraveling and you get strings and your cats eat them, they could wind up in distress with strings hanging out where they don't need strings hanging out, if you get my meaning. I just don't think that would be safe for them. But that's my opinion. I
Now, I suppose if you covered it with fabric, maybe it'd take a long time to tear them apart, but I don't know. I don't have cats, so I don't know.
yeah, that makes sense, Arlene. Yeah, I guess it depends on how much stitching you do.
Yeah, I do like the wrapping part, and then the stitching. I think maybe that's why I like the crazy wild stitches is because I can just do it without paying attention, and it doesn't take very long. I mean, I have a decent ball that has no decorations,
Right, Moni?
but I don't know, kind of like it is, but I'm going to keep adding more thread because I just found this thread when I went to grab stuff today, so I haven't used it before.
I've never done these, so this is kind of an experiment. I'm having fun. I'm actually finding it quite relaxing. Just making huge stitches. They're not showing very much because it's okay. It's going to be good because I have a whole bin of sequins here. So it's going to be blingy by the time I'm done.
And I just noticed there's this piece of thread that's not really wanting to be stuck down there. So in my stitching on the next piece of thread, I'll just add them in. And I leave a long tail and just work it in. I don't really have a plan, but I do like this is something I do in the car too because I can just stitch and oh, there's a knot. It should pop right out, but if it doesn't, it did. I would just fold it down and stitch over it. You know, my beading needles all have curves,
A lot
and
of mine do too.
because they curve to how you use them, they say the same thing happens with knives. I don't evidently use enough knives that I've noticed that kind, but I just realized that this needle is bent too, and it must be one I've used a lot because it works perfect. You know, somebody else would pick it up and it might not work so good for them. So, and then if you get tired of stitching, just do a few more wraps and stitch again. Oh, the heat from your hand. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I never even thought about that. I just figured it was the way you used it because I have picked up other people's needles and they're bent and they're awkward. So,
Yeah, those pesky dangly strings. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. My grandmother's knitting needles were curved. Hey,
wow.
Colleen, nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. So I'm really happy with this little round thing. So now I'm going to add, I've got another one that I can stitch too. This one's really loosely wound because this was all my little bits on my desk from various projects. I throw them in a bin and so I just kind of hand rolled it into a ball. Emergency monkey. Yeah, yeah. Um, so I'm going to make this blingy and I'm going to use blue thread. Yeah, I know. I know. I don't know how my nan managed it. They were metal. Some of them were metal. Some of them were ivory. So maybe the ivory ones actually were that way.
Well, I think I would love to have more purple on here, but I'm going to start embellishing it with something because
You can.
I can. Yep. And you're right, Kim. They do make great pin cushions.
Yeah,
When I'm working on them, there's usually two or three out, and I have my pin cushion sitting right here, and I still put my needle in a ball.
yeah. I put mine on a magnet. Oh, I don't have that thread holder right
I
now.
do too, and I have to this side of me a wooden cabinet with little metal drawers, and each one of those drawers has a magnet on it, and some have some drill bits, and some have some needles, and all kinds of funny things on them.
It is the same in Canada, Allie.
I just looked over and saw this green thread, and I hate sewing with sparkly thread. Absolutely hate it.
Oh, yeah, me too.
But it might be cool wrapped on a ball. So we'll set that aside because I don't want green with this one. It just,
I'm just picking things out at random. So I ended up with an orange sequin or a copper colored sequin. There's another one. I'm going to pull a few of those out if I come across them. Maybe I should dump this onto a bigger lid.
you said sequin, so
I
I,
know.
I have a little dish of them right here beside me.
I have a whack load. I just need a tray of some sort that they'll spread out better. And I'll just use this.
I think I'll stick with my purple thing.
I don't have a lid for this container, but it'll just be easier to find things that. Cooking chicken wings in the crock pot with slices of oranges. Nice.
Yeah, sounds wonderful.
We're having leftover beef barley soup.
Tonight's our taco night.
Awesome. You don't do Taco Tuesdays?
No, we just go out for Mexican on Friday night. Our favorite meal is that's the night it's on special.
Oh,
So
look, I got a lot of these ugly little gold beads. Gack. Let's use them up. This
you
is
know
good.
what? I just set this up with my big needle, so I'm not going to be able to put beads on here. So we're
Yeah.
going to have to sew sequins on in a different manner today.
Oh, that'll be
If
fun.
we can figure that out. Because I'd be darned if I had thread and needle. That I love this. I love um, the uh, seed bead stitching, but man, I hate thread and a needle. I still think they should sell them threaded already. But then you'd need them in so many colors, and then it would get expensive.
Yep.
Well, that works out pretty good. I can't complain. The beads would be cute, but I don't know if you can see that. I did a little flower and I just stitched in the lines around it. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch them all because it looks good. If I can get my needle to go through that many times.
And of course, because it's a scrappy ball, I'm just using whatever goes over my needle, bead wise.
Yep. Well, the dogs are barking. The sirens just went by.
Yeah, I heard those. You know, that's one thing I really don't miss about living in the city is all the sirens. Mine
Yeah.
then if there are sirens in town, we always wonder because we know people in like it's a small community, so
Yeah. Well, if I hear sirens shortly after Gary leaves for work or go to back to work or goes to the store, I always call him. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Why? Never mind. Just was wondering.
yeah, just checking on you.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. So what was going to put on here next? Let's add this one. And see again,
Oh,
if you're putting things on, you could do this. You could always put it on with a straight pin and kind of lay out your design if you wanted to. Um,
well, they're rolled balls of stuff, Allie. Like we're using junk. Jean and
yeah.
I are all about the junk, and then we make it pretty. Junk.
Oh, I didn't know you could buy pre-threaded needles. Yeah, that would be a problem. I'm gotten pretty darn good at using pretty long yarn. I watched a video the other day for a stitch I haven't done in a long time, and the lady said she measures her thread at 4 wingspans. Well,
Oh,
for me, I mean, she doubles it, so that's not too bad. That's
that's
a
still
little
a
of
lot.
yeah, it's still like 3 yards. I usually do about 3 yards and then fold it in half. So
My thing is some of these beads, the needle just doesn't go through.
yeah,
That's okay.
but I
Jean,
kind of
you have
like.
needle threaders.
I do have needle threaders, and that helps. And honestly, if I'm over at my lighted magnifying thing, I can almost always get the thread first try. But doing it without the magnifier, nope. I know 4 wingspans, and she does good. Yeah. The more I do, the longer I can get. But that's, I mean, not always does it work that way. And I've tried this um, self-threading ones like Anne was just talking about, but I always have it slipping out of the needle all the time. So I must not be doing something right. Well, I'm going to have to put a bright color in here because there's just too much purple and pink. I can't believe I said that, but
Yeah, I'd have that knotted and crazy fast. 4 wingspans. Okay, there's got to be a bead in here that goes over the needle. I found some already, so there's got to be more. This
And
is a bin of, you start projects and you don't put things back in where they belong.
oh
So
my goodness, you're kidding. You do that?
I have all these mixed bins of stuff, and this is a good use for it.
I mixed up some stuff the other day.
And you thought of me?
No, I actually, well, actually, I tore up something that was multicolored, and I left it that way because when I got ready to use it, I just picked out the colors I needed, and I didn't have to sort it.
Nice.
It was a real rare thing, but it worked. You know what? I've never sewed sequins on like this, and I actually kind of like it.
I like it.
I mean, just doing the stitches across it, no bead. I'm not
Yeah,
going to do that on my bead embroideries because the beads is what I like.
right. But that makes sense, you know. Bead soup, sequin soup, yeah. I have lots of bead soup bins. Like, I
I
mean,
love it. I can easily go over there and unplug it because the one I bought myself has a stand, but you know, it's a small stand or and then it also came with a clamp to clamp it onto something. Well, I can't clamp it onto my table because Gary built these and they're 3/4 inch plywood with 2x4 framing. So there's not a clamp that spreads to the whole width to put it on there. But if you take it out of that clamp, it's got a little post. So he drilled holes in my tables, one on both ends, so I can have the light in whichever side I want. So all I got to do is go over there, pick it up out of the hole over there, unplug it, and put it here. But instead, I'm going to sit here and whine. Oh well.
that sounds like something I would do. I'm really good at whining.
I'm getting better all the time, the older I get. And I know that my husband would not argue that fact at all.
Neither would Ron. I think maybe that's why whenever I send him something that I like a picture of, and he'll just do it because he doesn't want to hear me whine anymore. Fine, I'll just make it and shut her the heck up.
Yep. Well, Arlene, I'm actually more persnickety now about sorting things. Um, every time I work on something, I think to myself that my friend Terry, who owned the bead store that I worked with, would be so surprised to see me finish a project and then sort my beads back out to where they go. It's only because I'm using smaller beads now. That's the only reason I take the time to sort them out because I use them by size and I use them by color. So,
Yeah. Whereas I still do hodgepodge stuff, um, unless I'm doing like a beaded heart or something. But I mean, this is the kind of thing I use when I do my heart embroideries, etc. I've got so many bins of odds and sods that gotta use stuff up. Just do. This is kind of getting full, but that's okay. I don't know if I want to cover the whole thing in sequins and beads. Kind of takes away from the scrap ball underneath, but it would still be very, very cool as just a real little blingy dangle, especially if I can use up these ugly gold sequins and beads. That would make me very happy.
Well, I actually started off with colors that blend well, and then I've decided to add more prominent colors. So I'm I'm liking that too. There's a lot. See, this is my problem. This is why I have multiple not finished. I'm tired of this already. I'm ready to start on the orange one, I think. So we're going to set this aside, but you got the idea. That was my concept, is to get you the idea. And I think I want to do this one completely stitched in the wild, crazy, all different colors, all different ways. Now, if I just use thread on this, I'd be doing this one for hours. I'm going to try something. Just, oh, no, my little,
No, no, Mr. Bill.
my little tiny ball. Oh, well. I am going to see if I can get all of how many ever threads there are through the needle. It's a pretty good eye, so we'll see. Just just to see how this will work.
Do you guys have things that just absolutely make you cringe when you use them?
Probably do, but I don't know right off the bat.
Like, aside from my orange and or my red and green creepy crawly thing, I don't like gold. Like gold sequins, gold beads, gold ink. I just not a fan at all. It's
I'll
crazy.
be darned. I got them on there. I do like gold. I like to put gold in my art more than I do the silver.
Oh,
I don't like to put silver in there, and I wear silver. That's all I wear. But these bracelets that I've been making have gold and silver and copper in them, so I usually mix metals. That's one of my favorite things to do.
yeah.
So I am going to start this
You
just
can't
with.
stand the feel of burlap? That's interesting.
I don't like burlap. I read a story about somebody who had major medical issues from burlap, and for
Really?
that reason, I won't use it.
What, like, what does burlap do to you?
It sends little fibers out in the universe.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of burlap either. I mean, we use it when we wrap our trees for the winter so that the rabbits and the snow don't kill them. But
Well, this is kind of cool. This is that thread that I started to make into a ball, and then I put it all through the needle. So I'm using like, I don't know how many threads there are here. Maybe up to 8. There's 8 spools of thread in that bag. So, and I'm just stitching down because this one, because it's so big and I want random stitches everywhere. I mean, I'll probably cover up stitches, but I just want them everywhere. I'm going to use bigger, you know, bigger threads. I'll probably get the pearl cotton out for this one. I know it looks weird now. Looks like a pumpkin with some disease.
I not say nothing.
So, does anybody have any plans for the weekend?
Mm, I do. My grandson and his partner are coming over tomorrow to work in the shop with Ron.
Awesome.
And then I've got my Sunday stream.
Cool. I don't have any. I'm going to continue working on the stuff in the garage. I am down to, I have no more inventory in there. I just have my things, and I am uh, working towards a garage sale. I
Oh,
had hoped for next weekend, but every time I turn around, there's more stuff.
no laughing.
And
No.
I don't know, the temperature is supposed to be nice, but it's going to start the day at like 39. And I don't know if people are going to come out at that. I don't know. Those diehards will.
Yeah,
Susan, if you're still in here, would you go out garage selling at 39 degrees?
I would. That's warm.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry, Allie. That's always a rough one. Okay, so I think I got enough sequins on this for it to be a blingy thing. So now I think what I would like to do is take that wonderful metallic thread that my sister gave me and do some stitching between everything with that fabulous, fabulous thread.
is this the one that keeps falling off?
What? The thread?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. It stretches. You can't pull it tight. It stretches. It's just brutal.
I have a
Brutal.
bunch of metallic thread in my garage sale. I have a bunch of yarn. I have so many craft books. They fill a big tub plus.
Yeah.
And those I haven't decided if I'm going to try to just do a video of some of the stuff I have, um,
What the heck was that?
and see and put it on YouTube and see if, other people are interested, or because I'm not going to get the value of the books regardless of where I sell them.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm just going to do ugly random stitches between this. Like I've got this kind of stuff that my sister, she had an she's got an embroidery machine and she didn't like the way it worked in her embroidery machine, so she gave me 3 or 4 spools of this. I got different colors, and I find that it's okay to use as long as I use a real thread with it. This stuff frays really bad, like you
I
see.
never thought about that, but that makes sense.
So I'm just gonna pull 2 lengths and just run them together, and I find that works good.
Thank you, Anne.
Why are you stuck on the scissors?
Well, I am going to list it with all the craft stuff, and I have a needle felting machine. I have 2 different crickets. Um, I don't know what else big stuff. I really don't have a lot of big stuff. File cabinet because I don't need it anymore. So yeah, lots of stuff. Okay, now I'm going in with a pearl cotton. It's funny how these colored stitches that's on here, to me, the prominent color is a green, and now I'm using another green. But that's okay because I am going to cover this in some crazy stitches.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do big wonky stitches. Or maybe I'll do little stitches. I don't know. But I'm
Or
going
maybe you'll do a combination of both.
to, yeah, something. Yeah, I've gone garage sailing colder because I mean, when people have garage sales in the spring, when they're doing their spring cleaning, it can be chilly here.
I may have picked the wrong ball to do stitching on. Excuse me. That's okay. This is what I want. I really, really like that look. I don't know why.
Just the big ugly stitches.
Uh huh.
Yeah. No, 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 no. Oh no! Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh.
Bye, Carol. Thanks for coming.
Take care, Carol. See you soon. Thanks for the braid stitch inspiration.
Well, I think I'm going to do a video soon on flip through of my books. I haven't decided if I want to just do a recorded video or live. So I'll ask your opinions. What would you like?
Live.
Well, I know you wanted live, so just you probably.
Back up, kid. Right? I heard that
You do?
clearly. I heard that clearly. Little bit different wording, but I heard it clearly. Did you guys hear it clearly too? See, everybody else is saying live.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
just me. No, just me.
Well, my first goal is the garage sale, and if I can make it next weekend, I'm going to. Just because I got to get it out of there. I had it so pretty and clean, and now everything is full, and I'd love to just have some empty shelves in there for now. I don't know who's going to fill them first, but in fact, I would sell some of the shelving if I thought I would never need it. But you know,
I do know.
you just never know.
That's right.
I mean, because right now my shed, we have two shed. We have three buildings in our yard. One is my husband's man cave, and that is literally what it says. I mean, it's used to be a glorified doghouse until we lost our big dog, and then I mean, he's got a recliner in there and a TV and a refrigerator. But we have a few of the power tools in there. My sander and my saw and his drill press. Although I use the drill press more than any other tool we own. So anyway, um, and then we have his shed that holds his tools and all that good stuff. And then we have mine. And I know you're not going to believe what's really in my shed right now. Empty tubs. That's all that's in my shed. Lots of empty tubs. And he's like, "Are you going to sell these at the garage sale?" And I said, "I don't know yet."
They're useful.
Well, they are. And they have lids, so you don't have to worry about, little rodent friends or something.
It's funny, Ron and I were actually just talking about that. In all the years we've had our shop, he's only had a mouse in there once.
Wow,
And
that's good.
I mean, I've had mice in the house more than he's had in his shop. It's just bizarre.
Maybe he scares them.
Um, well, there's really nothing in there for them either. Like there's no food, so they can't smell anything like that. But
Well, that makes sense because Gary hasn't had any in the man cave since he stopped having the dog food in there.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, like, there's really never any food out in the shop. He doesn't eat out there.
Yeah. Oh, no kidding. And I agree. They went so high. And then the worst thing, too, is I still don't understand it. I totally don't get it. I don't know how I have extra lids and extra tubs without lids. I can see a tub without a lid a little more than a lid without a tub because I think I would remember throwing tubs away because they were broken or something. But the lid could get mixed up with something else, and I still haven't checked all the hiding places. I have a habit of if I'm packing a box for something else and it's too full, then I'll slide its lid into some corner somewhere or between two two pieces of furniture or something. So I have to take the flashlight and go check between all furnishings in this house and see if there's any more lids. I went to Price Out seeing if you could buy just the lids, and I couldn't find them. Few I did find. Um, you might as well just buy a new tub.
Yeah.
So now I'm going with a purple just because I needed to change a color. These stitches are going to have to get pretty much longer if I want to keep doing this without going crazy. I don't have an attention span today.
Ooh, that's brutal. Barbie's under the bed. That's like odd socks. Odd socks are laundry seeds. You get one odd sock in your laundry hamper, and the next thing you know, the blessed thing's full.
Though, I only wear one kind of sock. So if I happen to miss a sock that doesn't pair up with its other,
It's
there
okay.
will, yeah.
That's the way Ron is too. I have variety socks, and that's because I detest them. So I keep buying them to see if there's something that I find that I actually like.
The ones I wear now are bamboo. They're supposed to be, that diabetic that don't leave lines. Well, when you sit a lot, your socks still leave lines no matter what. But these are really, really soft and they don't cut into you.
Yeah,
But my daughter gave me a pair of sweater socks for Christmas, and they're like knee socks. And I wore them on a cold day, and I was like, I remember knee socks back when I was little. And I was kind of like, gosh, do they all feel like this? But I didn't go get no more because I might not wear them.
oh, I detest socks. Yeah.
I love socks, but they have to be on my feet just right.
No, it doesn't
No,
matter. Doesn't matter. I just no socks. No socks. I feel like I'm being strangled. It's weird.
yep, that's what I have. The gray ones, they're have a little black trim on them, and but they're mostly gray. It's funny because everything used to be different for me. I used to like to have a variety of things, and now all my underwear is the same, and all my socks are the same. But my bras, that's where my color comes in. Not that anybody ever sees any of that stuff, but You know what I'd really like to see after we get done with these? If you could do it without ruining it, I'd love to see a cross section of what it looks like inside.
Yeah, you know what? If you filled it full of glue, like took a syringe and pumped it full of glue, that would be quite interesting, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know how well you can see that.
It's pretty. Looks
That
like the jewel from a crown.
nah.
Makes me want to go back and put beads on these sequins because they don't stand out so much. But I like that. I think it'll be good when it's finished.
Well, I was thinking that once I've got a couple more strands of this crazy thread down, what I might like to do is just go back and do like towers of beads, like 3 or 4
Yeah,
beads, a straight dangle of them.
cool.
We'll see.
So, one of the plans I have for my balls, other than just having them in the jar because I really do like the look of that, is I have a wall hanging kind of planned.
She does.
And these are going to be part of that. That will be a long time before that's done because I have to make the components. And then, even then, I like the making of the components. I may not make finished project. Been known to do that before.
Mm, preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
Thanks, Allie. It's different. I mean, the majority of the ornaments on our tree are handmade bits and bobs. This year I made top hats. Ron turned a bunch of wooden top hats and I painted them and decorated them. But yeah, I could do a whole bunch of these for Christmas decorations. And my kids all have cats and they'll go, oh, hairballs. They're fancy.
Oh, 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 oh.
Oh, what you did?
Well, I have a beading needle in my pincushion, and I just put my needle in there, and next the beading
Ouch.
needle went up my
Oh,
cuticle. See, I have a damaged fingernail. It's got a ridge in it. Not really a ridge, a divot, I suppose you could say, all the way down.
yeah,
And so had its own little open invitation there to go in. You see, it's just getting cuter and cuter.
it is. It is.
Oh, they would be a pretty garland.
Oh, they would.
Pretty, yeah. If you could take a couple of pieces of yarn or pearl cotton or crochet cotton. Oh, I'm thinking again.
Do it, do it.
So, what if you took all these different balls and put them together and you use the crochet cotton and you make your loop for the end or whatever, and then you crochet for a while and then you put on you'd have to stop it so it wouldn't unravel and then stitch your thread through this and then crochet some more so that your cord is a little bit heavy too. That could be done. Couldn't you do a chain and then stop it and stitch
Yeah,
on a ball?
yeah.
That would be cool.
You know what I actually want to do with this now?
Make it into a ring and wear it
No,
on your junk embroidery.
no.
Well, don't ask me and then keep telling me no.
I know, I know, I know. Look, I could make like beaded bodies for my little peckers.
I should have known it had something to do with chickens.
That would be perfect. I might just have to stitch up a whole bunch of these and make like 3D Goonie birds. Not necessarily with the beads on them, but
Hmm.
I might just do junk birds, like junk Goonies.
That might be kind of cool,
It could.
especially when it's all
Pecker
stitched up.
balls. Yeah, those are my pecker balls. I've got a whole series of those. Sorry. We're sorry, Jean.
Oh, that's okay. We're just talking peckers and balls around here.
Yeah.
You know what else would be cool?
Wait.
Is if you made, I'm trying to find, okay, crazy stitch snowmen.
Oh, yes.
Boho snowmen.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Oh, I like that idea.
And you could just do them just stitched in, or like this one, which just all wrapped up and stuff. You don't have to do the, embellishments, just because,
Yeah.
you're going to add cool
The
stuff on
carrot
there.
nose. Snowman. I've got snowman in my studio. Of course I do. I've got my snowman bookmark, and I've got my snowman container, and I had somebody else. He's not here. He must be upstairs someplace. But yeah. Yeah,
I'm
uh, it,
gonna I'm gonna make a boho snowman. You know that, right?
I know. Some astronaut figures? I don't know. We'll see. I got monsters, right? I've got the worms. I got aliens. I got an alien. I got another alien. Oh, maybe they're monsters. Then I got the cat. Yeah, yeah. Stitch them. Stitch them. Make them cringe.
Oh,
I have far too much junk
Arlene, that's funny.
in my vicinity here. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I too have to make a boho snowman now. Thank you, ladies.
yeah, me too. One's gonna have to be orange. One's gonna have to be purple. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's just gonna be cooler and everything. We may start a new fad. Don't ever repeat this, guys. This is going to be our special secret project.
Yeah, yeah, right. Uh-huh.
I just thought of something. If I'd have wrapped a little bit of thread around this, it would be filling up a lot faster.
Maybe, possibly, probably.
I think I should change my name to the impatient, lazy scrap er crafter.
Do you know that's where I run into a lot of problems too, is because I want it done yesterday.
Yep, that's why I don't finish a lot of things because it's like I got to try that. Okay, I did it. It worked. It was fun. It did what I thought it would. I'm done.
Yeah, yeah.
And I I have just within the last year or so gotten back into beading work. And I have a whole shoebox full of unfinished beadwork. Bye, Arlene. Thanks for
Bye.
being
Take
here.
care,
Thanks for
hon.
sharing links for me.
Thanks, Eileen. See you soon. Have a great weekend.
I mean, and you know what? Most of them are done up to the clasp. So they're really wearable if I just put a clasp on them.
Well, that's like my journals. All I need to do is put covers on the silly things, and it just doesn't happen.
Well, I have to say that my art journals need more stuff in them because there's a lot of blank pages. And I'm trying really hard not to start one until they're full, or at least a couple are full. At least one, please. And um, but any journal I've made, most of the time they're finished. I have a beautiful cover over here for a journal.
You do.
I do. It's layers of things laid on it on the cover, cardboard or chipboard pieces, and I think there's a domino and a dice and all that, and then painted and then buffed with gold and copper. It's beautiful, and I can't give it away because the two cardboard letters on there are JP.
Yeah.
So I probably should make a book for it, but I haven't because the cover was the project.
Yeah. I'm really bad at making covers. I think there's only been like two covers that I've done that I've actually really liked.
I have a couple of covers I've really liked. And it's not so much the cover as the spines I like.
Yeah. Yeah. I just have to be a little bit more patient that way, I guess.
It's funny how I've gotten rid of all of my old books and now I see all these projects that use old books.
Yeah. I have stacks of old books sitting over there. I keep meaning to go through them. A lot of them were like old popular mechanics and things.
Uh-huh.
So there's like all kinds of old plans and stuff. They'd be great for a man's journal, well, a lady's journal too, but you know what I mean. That if somebody was making a masculine journal, that would be a wonderful thing to have. You know, all these old car pictures and plans and
Mm-hmm.
how firm do you make the centers, Jean? Because this one is really loose. It's loosey goosey.
Depends upon what you're going to use them for, I suppose. Some of mine are super soft and some of them are um, really, really hard. I couldn't put another stitch in them if I tried.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and then you poke it and threads come out. Well, maybe I'll start stitching it a little bit tighter, pulling it together a bit. Definitely. This is all the, like I say, all the old yarns from when I've been doing embroideries and things,
Mm-hmm.
different lengths, so they're all over the place. So I used to do a lot of those baby rag quilts, and
Mm-hmm.
I have lots of squares left. Um, and yeah, a lot of it's like baby fabrics and stuff. But I thought that my grandson and his sister both love having couch blankets that
Mm-hmm.
I could get away with doing adult size stuff using up those leftovers. Need a sewing machine too, though, right? But I've got a bin full of 2-inch wide lengths left from when I cut the squares for these blankets. So now I'm wondering if, I mean, I've done 2 log cabin quilts with them already,
Mm-hmm.
but I still have a whack load and I don't know what I want to do with them. You pay a lot for fabric, and now fabric's really stupid expensive. So it's not like I want to throw them out. Maybe I'll, when I get my sewing machine fixed, I really have to phone that dude. And maybe I'll do that as soon as we're done here. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, I could do my unpaper paper towels out of it. I could just do them strips instead of chunk of flannel. I think.
I'm having to make myself stitch differently on this.
Yeah.
I realized that my longer part of the stitch was inside the ball.
Oh, yes.
And I thought to myself, if I pay attention and take long stitches
On the outside.
with a short spot to the next one,
Yeah,
that takes thinking.
it does. It
I
does
would have,
because it's backwards,
it
right?
is backwards.
I get that. I get that. So yeah, I like this little one. But like I say, I want to do those little stringies of beads coming up. I just have to find a smaller needle that the beads will actually string on. Oh, you know, if I went through the bead, strung beads on it to the next bead, I could have all these like little loopy, right?
See, there is no right or wrong. These can just take their own mind and become something completely different.
Oh, they're completely different, all right. They really are. Haven't tried any embroidery stitches on them yet.
I love the chain stitch on them.
Yeah, I could see that. No, I'm thinking, I could do chain stitch or French knots. I have to have it pretty smooth though to have French knots on it so that at least you could see what the heck they are.
That's with this one. I don't know when it's ever going to get finished. And I've, tried to skip around so there's not all the same colors together.
Yeah.
And some of them, there's only one or two French knots of that color because I usually used leftover. Haven't had a lot
Yeah.
of leftover lately.
Yes. Whoa. It's alive. It's alive.
Kim, if you made these bigger ones, you could use up a lot of your crochet cotton this way.
Yeah, but I still like um crocheting with my crochet cotton. So I don't know. I you know I have lots of stuff to use up. I do. I have lots of stuff to use up.
I do too. I have a lot of crochet cotton. There's a lot of it going to be in the garage sale too because I just don't use it.
Yeah. But I mean I use that for like the wings and the tails on the birds, right? I also use it for making flowers for in the journals, flat flowers. And yeah, I don't know. I just don't know.
My eyes don't work that little very well. I say that, and then you've all seen my bead embroidery.
Yeah. They can be friends with my monsters. Yeah. These could be fun to turn into monsters because they're so scrappy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. I have too many other projects that I need to finish before I even think of that. Having a couple of these little boho beaded things around here, it's going to be great, but I don't know that I'm going to do anything with them for a while.
But you have them, so
Exactly.
when you're finishing something else off, you may say, "Oh, that's a perfect place for one of those."
Exactly. Exactly.
I just hope I live long enough not to forget what I have.
Yeah. That's the other thing, right? I
Yeah,
come in and I go, oh, drats. I forgot I had that. And yeah, it's not usually drats.
yeah, I have
You don't know
found.
anything? Oh, no.
I have found a lot of things that I didn't know I had going through things. But for all the stuff I've gotten rid of or taken to the garage for the garage sale, I have a sweater sized box that I've kept to come back in the house. That's a big deal because there's a lot out there. So I thought I was doing pretty darn good to just have that much.
That is good.
And some of it was stuff that was out there not intended to be thrown away that I'm using now, because I still have beads out there I haven't brought in the house.
Oh,
They're
no.
not they're not going in the garage sale,
Yeah,
but I still have them.
I get it. Yeah, you know what? And I was looking for my bin of little pearls because I know that this needle goes through those pearls, and they're probably on my desk, and I just can't see them for looking. You know, they could be on the floor. Who knows where things go? Watching Carol today, she had something and she put it down and she was looking for it. So, I don't feel so bad when I put things down when I'm on stream, and it's not just me.
Mine is the scissors. I always misplace my scissors.
My thread always gets wrapped around my scissors. Carol and I had that discussion as well. How often the thread wraps around.
But you know, the good thing is, I have a lot of
Oh
scissors.
my goodness. Sorry. What were you saying?
I have a lot of scissors.
Yeah. So are you embroidering on the strips of fabric between the tags? And she made a beautiful tag book on the Feral Artist Group last Sunday. And she laid them all out on a strip of fabric. It was very interesting the way she did it. I'm seriously considering doing one like that. Not until I finished out another couple of projects. Because,
That might be your best bet for getting things finished because you're always saying, "Oh, I started a new one." You have to finish two to start a new one.
yeah, I've been trying that. It's not working.
Well, I tried to help.
I know, I know. I love you. It's me because again, I was watching Carol and I started something new because she was stitching and it's like I haven't stitched for a while. I feel like stitching, you know. So if I'm not at people's lives for a while, this is why. Because I really need to complete stuff. I really need to complete stuff. That's awesome, man. That's absolutely awesome. I love it. But I mean, I've got three rude books on started. I've got all these. Oh no, I think I've only got this one heart left to do because I started it this morning. I've got what 97 paintings, 87 paintings left to do for the 100 painting challenge. But that one is a year long thing. It does help you complete things. Although this big painting project I'm working on, I've had it here for probably 5 years. And my nephew is very kind and hasn't come and shot me or anything because it's not done yet. But it's my main priority. Some of the fabric. Oh, that would be lovely. That would be lovely. That really would be lovely.
That's something else I found at two or three quilt tops unfinished.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I got some of those too. I think I got six. The tops are finished. They're just not backed and
Yes.
quilted.
I even remember when I got them and where I got them and probably why I got them and have no desire to use them now. And I got boxes of linens, but they're not going in the garage sale. I will eventually use some of them. And
Yeah.
I think I am going to try a pre recorded video of some of the stuff I want to get rid of. Not everyone's going to know that this bag of paper is a great junk journal supply, and they're not going to want to pay anything for it because they're going to think it's trash.
Yeah.
And I'm not really doing it for the money. I just don't need it and I don't want to throw it out.
Right. See, I can take stuff to the place in Winnipeg where people can go and get art supplies for free. It's stuff that would have gone into the landfill, but so it could be anything from little bits of wood to scraps of fabric, anything that they can use in a project. Um, they take donations of all that stuff. So I'm thinking of packing up a bunch of stuff and taking it over there.
That's cool.
Problem is, every time I go, I always see something that I get inspired, and I have to learn that no, you're taking stuff and dropping it off. You are not bringing anything home. It's really hard,
Hmm.
really, really hard.
Yeah, and I've been, you know, destashing and getting rid of things. And I'm like, now what are we going to do on vacations? Because we like junk stores.
Yeah, Ron doesn't go to stores or anything with me, so when we go on vacation, it's not an issue.
Well, I get craft stores. I used to go to add fabric stores in there, but not so much anymore. But I get all of those and bead stores because he wants to go to a breweries.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's a not something we do either. So
although I have to say, some of the best food I've ever had have been at breweries.
yeah, I guess I should be on screen and doing this. Sorry, guys. I'm just sitting back in my chair in my own little world, chatting and doing.
Yeah, I look up every once in a while and think, oh, I need to bring this back up better. I mean, I did change my um, camera a little bit. Finally got the software uploaded on this computer. Oh my goodness. I really like this ball, just like. No, I'm just teasing.
It is.
Although I have used every color pearl cotton that I brought in here. Let's see if there's any in this tub of stuff. See, there's scissors everywhere you look in my
That's
house.
fabulous, Anne.
Oh,
I don't
none
know
in
what I want
here.
to do with this. I think I'm going to swap out these. I have this glittery purple and a variegated purplish pink. These go really nicely together. Have to admit, I really like the metallic threads on these because then they're not all over creation. But this metallic thread stretches and knots. It's plastic. It's a pig to work with.
I found a few more, but they're all tiny ones. And I really wasn't wanting to go this thin. Oh,
Oh,
I have to show you. I forgot this was sitting there. I made a crocheted bead.
you did.
Yep,
Cool.
little tube bead.
Let's see. Oh, that's cute. Very cute.
I was just piddling around one day. Crochet hook was there, and you know how things go.
I do. I do. See, that's the kind of thing I do with the crochet cotton because I always have a ball close by, and
Yeah.
the hook for it is right there, just in case I want to do like an edging on a flag or something.
I think I'm going to use some of this metallic too. That I have this
And
green.
do it.
Dang, I don't know if I can get it in the. I think it's in there. Thanks, Anne.
Ah, no, don't not. Don't not. Don't not. Do not not. Do not. There we go.
The long top stitches and the short under stitches is getting easier.
Yes.
And I thought I have a couple variegated threads here. I thought I might double up on them, and it's just that like these are super thin. I don't know. This reminds me of my grandma. She was always doing stuff with little bitty spools like that.
Yes. How a lot of stuff came. Eep. Eep.
I think I told you about I was watching something and it was a how to get rid of excess stuff and minimize things, whatever. And one of the things the lady said was scissors. You don't need more than one pair.
Yeah, she's obviously not a crafter or artist.
And I turned her off. I was like, I don't need this in my life.
Yeah, no, I know. Do you know what I've been finding really lately that just makes me want to spit? All these YouTube channels that say what older women should not wear. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's by this young woman, and it's like, seriously, bite me. I'm going to wear whatever I feel like. And if somebody doesn't like it, they don't need to look, you know.
Exactly.
But you know, it's right there and then it's was kind of felt like a body shaming kind of thing. And I'm thinking, you know what? You haven't lived through what we've had to live through, getting to where we are as women. What right have you got to tell anybody? I was just, I'm getting really cranky in my old age.
Getting?
Yeah.
I think I've always been cranky, just didn't fess up to it so much.
Well, okay. I've always been cranky. It's okay. Maybe not cranky, but I've always had the eh, thing against authority. Maybe
Yeah,
art critics.
rebellious side.
Yeah, art critics and stuff. Like, you know what? It brought me joy making it. Who are you to tell me that I did it wrong? You know,
Exactly.
like, what right have you got? Granted, my style's not everybody's style, but I'm just snarky. Exactly, exactly. And any recommendations for art and stores that sell woolen goods near Niagara? You know what? Um, there's a lot of Buy Canadian stuff out there right now. I can definitely take a look to see what's out there because I know that I'm finding all kinds of stuff I didn't know was made in Canada, but I'm very happy it is. Did I send you the lady that Jean and I are following on Facebook? She's a felter.
Oh my gosh.
You know who I'm talking about, don't you?
I do. She is. I'm waiting for her to sell one of her bits and pieces things.
I know. I know. She's in Quebec though, but her stuff is to die for.
I got to show you real quick if I can get it over here. I got my new stand for embroidery hoop. That is a floor stand. So my embroidery is now in a stand. See this right here?
Hang on and I'll get the link.
I
Yeah,
made French knots with my chunky handmade wool yarn.
that's awesome.
I used a big plastic needle. It went through this just fine. I
Wow,
was so excited.
that's excellent. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to go and look for her.
She was more wet felting. She
Yeah,
she did do some needle felting, but mostly wet felting.
yeah. I just sent her a link to another friend, so I will just look for it. Do, 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 do. Okay, Anne and Susan, do I have you down here? I must, because I've sent you stuff in the past.
Anne, I need you to send me your address so I can send you your goodie bag.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I sent them. Let me know if you did not get them. Yeah, I've got you both. Got you both. Wow, look at me. That worked. So I've joined a new online group. It's like Facebook, but it's Canadian. And I'm meeting all kinds of new artists on there, guys. So I'm trying to. I posted Jean's link for our stream today. But if I find anything really interesting, I'm definitely going to share it out. You're welcome, Anne. Ah, thanks, Moni. I got little balls.
I got big balls.
We should be doing them in blue.
Thank you, Ann. I got it. It'll probably be next week now because I don't know that I'll get out to the post office today, and our post office is like open for an hour and a half on Saturdays. One of my local friends is moving away, and I was kind of sad. And then her husband, another one's husband, came by Friday or Saturday night, I think, and told me that his wife, she's a postal carrier. She's going to work on the inside now, and I was so excited because she'll get 2 days off a week.
That's awesome.
I'm like, yay, we can do lunch then. Because I never see her because she's exhausted when she gets home.
Yeah.
Because I really don't do things with people because I don't know that many people.
I know lots of people. I I'm just being a hermit lately. Like I've got my friend who runs the local craft group at alternate Tuesday nights, and I really, really should go and play with the ladies live because because
Well, I have a couple people that have been wanting to do that. So as soon as we get the garage sale and all that done, then I'm seriously thinking about doing that here.
yeah. Well, I used to do it here, um, but there's no room downstairs here now because it's not a rec room anymore. It's my studio.
Well, yeah, mine will have to be tables set up in the living room. It's the biggest room in the house, and
Yeah,
I mean, if it's just three people, we can do it at the dining room table.
yeah.
But
Oh, yeah. I guess we could do it at the dining room table. That's where I do it when my friend brings her kids over to play. See, I'll go out in the evening, um, as long as it's reasonably close. I don't like driving to and from the city in the dark. But my girlfriend lives just in town here, so she's like 5, 10 minutes away. If it was a nice day, I might even walk over there, but in the wintertime, there's no way I'm going to do that. And her driveway is so steep, and because she's had this stroke, um, she's got no one to clear her driveway for her. It's a big driveway. Our driveways are quite long. Um, that I'm scared I'm going to go off the side into the ditch because I can't see what I'm doing in the dark. There, this one's really nice and sparkly with all that metallic thread on it. I don't know how well the sparkles doesn't really show up, but it is. It's sparkly. I don't know what I want to do with that now. Oh, fuzzy, fuzzy. Okay. She is. She is. She still doesn't have her driver's license. She's doing okay. She's doing okay. Yeah, I don't know what I want this one to be. That could definitely be a little pecker. I could just turn that into a little pecker. That's a lovely little body.
Yes.
I think that's what I'll do. And I think I'll do that with this one as well, just because I can. We're going to make these into birds. Just have to crochet some wings and tails. But that's okay. I can do that. They're a little bit heavier because, well, no, this has a lot of beads on it. Yes. So, yeah, I think these are going to be bird bodies.
Cool.
I wonder how this, and you've used this silly metallic stretchy plastic thread, right? So I don't have a problem using it when I'm stitching it by hand as long as I'm running a regular thread along with it. Do you think it'll work good if I used it with crochet cotton? If I crochet with it? In which case, then I'm going to do a whole bunch of wings and tails and stockpile them. And really tempted to try it.
So what do you got to lose if it doesn't? You'll know a few stitches in whether it works the way you want it to.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's see what crochet cotton I have handy. I have green. So I could use green for this one, right? Let's do that. And use that, the white, not this pink stuff. Ooh, what about I have this purple? No, no. I'll use the white. I'm going to find out that I really like this metallic threads for playing with, and I'm going to start buying the darn stuff.
No, use what you have. The bossy in me is going to come out pretty quick, so you better use what you have.
Well, no, no, I'll use what I have, but I'll probably want to buy something. Okay, that one.
Well, if you just come over, I can give you all kinds of stuff.
All right. I want to thread it through that. Come on. Works much better if you've got it through the hole down here. I think I want it to come under. We're going to try it, guys. We're going to try it. I'm going to make tail for this. And I'm not going to put beads on it because it's got such a lovely body. I might throw a little bit of beads on the wings. The problem is with that is I have to string the beads before I start working. So, so we'll do it this way. Oh, this could be fun. Yippers, yippers. So I could call these done, but I'm not gonna. I don't know if this is considered a new project, Jen, or if I am making these, finishing them off. What's the verdict, guys? What's the verdict?
Yeah, you're pushing the line there.
Okay, I'm pushing the line. That's nothing new.
But the Scrappy Balls is a new project. But now that you've made them, they're an old project.
Oh, I like it. It's got just a little hint of metallic.
Now, see, you're making me want to go get mine out of the garage sale stuff.
See, like it's. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm
Thank
fuzzy.
you.
Let
Yeah,
me.
you're fuzzy.
I'm trying to clear. I don't know how well you can see. It's got just a little bit of shimmer from this white thread. Shows a little bit. Shows a little bit. Oh, it could be a pig. This could be a pig. The thing is trying to keep them the same tension, right?
Oh, that's true.
Roll one. Oh, no. Yeah, gotta go pretty slow. Otherwise, you drop the metallic. And I just make up the tail and wings as I go along. And I know that doesn't surprise any of you.
Oh, I'm totally surprised.
Right.
This could be a stress ball
It could.
or an exercise ball. And it really feels kind of good to smash it in your hands and stuff.
Seriously, I would use it and peg the grandkids with it. It
Yeah,
it
but
really keeps them on their toes.
my the little ones, the twins, would just pick it right back up and throw it at me.
Yes, yes, they would.
And they're not, they don't have their aim so good yet. So I'm sure something would get broken.
Yeah, probably. Probably. Ha. Okay, so let's do some little picots along the edge of the tail. Oh no, what about? I have a better idea. Better idea.
Yep, that's true. Well,
Right.
we could do it at grandma's.
Yeah, that was the thing. My daughter always had a fit. Like, why are you letting her do that? And it's like, I have to take her to her other grandma. I says, what happens here stays here. You know, all's good. Leave her alone.
Yep.
Because, I mean, I had her painting with chocolate pudding on my white Thanksgiving tablecloth. I didn't care, right? It's, yeah, my daughter was not impressed. Mama's a bad influence. Oh, I have to take that. I'm going to mute. Oh, my husband got it. Hello, speaking.
You're not muted.
I know I'm not. Can you just hang on 1 second? I'm just online and I need to mute. I just have to find my mute button.
Dang, I wasn't hungry, Jen, and now I am. Thanks. I don't get nearly enough chicken at my house. My husband doesn't like chicken, so although I don't remember what I threatened him with, but it was like, you smoke all kinds of meat, and you have not smoked a chicken ever. I want a smoked chicken, and I'm not going to blah, blah, whatever it was I threatened him with until you make me a smoked chicken. And he's made several, and they're really good. And so I've been taking the leftovers and freezing it for something else at another time. And I made chicken bacon ranch quesadillas. Oh my gosh, that was so good. Wow, lots of cooking. Anything with broccoli is always good. Yeah, I'm ready for some chili. We didn't have nearly enough this winter. But I think he wants to smoke something this weekend, either a pork butt or a brisket. And either one of those is fine by me. And then the leftover goes in the freezer until I use it for chili because I love that in my chili. Yeah, I did. I don't remember what whatever it was, I wasn't going to do it again until he made me a smoked chicken, or we weren't going to eat that again until he made a smoked chicken. I don't know what it was, but I finally got one. Hey, Belinda. And you said you had stew meat defrosting. I've been having him buy stew meat more frequently. I just make it in the crock pot with brown gravy mix. It, oh man, it's so good. It's like you don't even have to chew the meat. Smash it against the roof of your mouth with your tongue and it dissolves. It's so good. It's funny on stitching this, every color seems to be, oh, that's a prominent color. And then you stitch on the next one, oh, that one's a prominent color.
I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to take that call. Hey, Belinda, nice to see you.
That's fine.
Um, that has to do with what I'm going to be doing on my Sunday streams.
Ah,
And the people that was just talking to are thrilled with the idea, and they would like to be involved behind scenes, and definitely might have some promotion stuff happening.
so
So
like a sponsor maybe?
not necessarily a sponsor. Well, maybe. I don't know. Uh, I'm going to find out. I'm going to touch base by email, and they've invited me, to come see them and possibly doing uh, a stream from there. And
Ooh.
so I'm pumped, guys. I am pumped. Those of you who are unaware, I am I have closed down the feral artist groups. Um, I've been just really having a hard time with all this trade war stuff going on between Canada and the US. And I know that things could get worse before they get better, unfortunately. Call me a pessimist if you will. I just feel that I need to help in some way. So, what I have decided to do on my Sunday streams is show you what people get from a food bank. Um, should you have to get food from a food bank? How to cook it, really simple, cheap recipes that are reasonably nutritious, how to save money when you're shopping. I know that our prices are so different between Canada and there. Nothing I can do about that, but I will give you as much information as possible. And so it will be simple, nutritious recipes. Well, maybe not all nutritious. Um, Yeah, so that's what I am going to be doing Sunday mornings, and it'll be at 11. And I have to figure out how my camera is going to be set up in my kitchen. It's going to be interesting. And since I haven't talked to the ladies from the big food bank in the city, they provide food to even some of the smaller towns, go there for supplies for their food banks. I'm a very big on making sure people are fed and kids are fed, right? Like if you're not fed and you're struggling, it's more of a stress, health wise, mentally, everything. So that's kind of where I'm going on Sundays. Thank you for letting me blurb, Jean.
Yes. As long as you don't make me cook, I'm good.
No. It's going to be Sunday Kim's Kitchen something or other. I don't know. It's still going to be like meet your creativity because cooking can be very creative. I'll be showing substitutions, that kind of thing. So yeah,
You're going to
exactly.
show us how to take all the calories out so we can eat what we want.
Oh, I wish. um Savor Sundays, yeah, that could be it. Flavor savor or savor flavor, I don't know, something. I like that, Savor Sundays though. Anyway, that's where I'm going. I know that some people were upset that I was stopping the feral group. I may bring that back. But right now, like I say, there's going to be, if these tariffs go through, there's going to be a lot of need for this kind of thing. So, anyway,
You're doing what you need to do.
I'm doing what I need to do. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, there'll be recipes on Sundays. You know, whatever I'm making, there'll be a recipe. There will be shopping list. Um, I will see if the ladies have a link that I could put the recipes in to get all the nutritional value, that kind of stuff in that I could share, you know. But I'm looking to do reasonably priced, tasty food on a budget or from the food bank. You know, that's it. I'm blurbed out. Oh, thanks, Monty. Thanks, thanks. So, as I say, I may go back to doing the Feral Artist Group. I know I'm going to miss it, but I can't stream more than 3 days a week. Yeah. How's your ball coming, Gene?
Oh, sorry, I'd moved it towards me. Sorry.
Do you know what it reminds me of? A&W. Do you guys have A&W?
This does?
Yeah, orange and brown and yellow.
There's no brown in there whatsoever.
What's that dark color you used?
It's a green with sparkles in it.
No, your original stitching.
Purple.
Oh, it looks brown from here. Okay, sorry.
These are what I've used in here so far. All of these.
Very
Not that.
cool.
That's a ball. And then there's these. Those have all. This one hasn't been because I didn't know if it was going to show up or not.
Yeah,
And then this green. It's a heavy green. And I have some more of this, and I may get it out to use it because it covers really fast, and it's cheap stuff. It does. I don't really care much for it in regular stitching.
yeah,
I loved A&W. Um, we have one here in town now still,
nice.
and yeah, I haven't been there for a long time, but now that you say that makes me want a root beer.
Yeah, their root beer is something really special. I really love their root beer
Yeah,
and their frosted mugs.
I
Yeah,
had. Go ahead.
we've got one on the highway where we turn off to another town towards our place, and so we'll stop there and grab a root beer. Yeah.
I have an aunt. Actually, my cousin, her mom, she lived with my cousin lived with us because her mom was in prison.
Okay.
And growing up, we were always told it was because she stole an A&W root beer mug.
Oh my.
Oh,
Uh, put the
which
fear into you, right?
yeah, I mean she was at she what she was in for is she had been driving the car of her boyfriend when they robbed an A&W.
Oh,
And so she got in trouble for that. But
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I was pretty close to an adult by the time I finally found out that wasn't the real reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Not sure I like doing two of these strands together. Gotta go really slow. It's a cute little tail. What I miss? Layoffs are happening in your area. No, that's just it. A lot of people, we've been so fortunate in our lifestyles, you know. Um,
So I'm going to ask a question, and um, luckily I have not needed a food bank.
Yeah,
What do they have at the food banks?
that's the other thing. See, when I was working with people with varying abilities and taking them to the food bank 12, 14 years ago, I knew what kinds of things they were getting. They were getting things like lentils and craft dinner, and there was always a bin of day old breads so that they could help themselves to different breads. Peanut butter was far and few between. Fresh meats and vegetables, always very far and few between. In Winnipeg, it's not quite as bad as the small one in the city to my south. Um, Lots of canned goods, canned vegetables. Never anything like margarine or milk. Well, we do have a milk program here, so they get a voucher for milk when they do their grocery shopping. Um, Powdered potatoes, um, stovetop stuffing, that kind of thing. But I have to send her an email, and she's going to send me a list of what people get so far, like, you know, the basics. And then if somebody happens to give flour, like a big bag of flour or laundry soap or whatever, I know they repackage that feminine hygiene products. It all gets repackaged into, you get this amount of it. Like, you don't get a 5 pound bag of flour, you'll get probably 4 cups and things like that, right? Like, there's, because it's got to, and these are specialty items. So you would get your main package of the canned stuff, and then you could choose 4 of the extra items. That was, like I say, 10 years ago. And then, of course, the people that I worked with were all on assistance. So they, out of their budget, after they paid their rent and phone, if they had a phone or cable, they would have about $50 a month left for groceries. So I would take them to the food bank. I would take them to the soup kitchen once a month or once a week. And at the soup kitchen, I was refusing to eat because I didn't want to be taking food from people. And the lady actually took me to the side and says, "You know, you have to eat." And I said, "I don't want to be taking food from anybody." She says, "There's lots of food, but if you just stand there or sit and visit, they have the feeling that you feel you're too good to be there."
Oh,
So then I started eating. But they also packaged, and you have to remember, this wasn't even a city when I was there. It's only become a city recently. They just have enough people to term it a city and not a town. So the population was about 8 or 9,000. I think it's 10,000 to be declared a city in Manitoba, whatever. Um, so I was found out that they were packaging 40 to 60 school lunches for the next day for the kids, right? That so the kids could have something to eat the next day. So I would always stop before I was taking people there and pick up things like fruit snacks, applesauces, those kinds of things, so that there was something as a treat to be putting in the lunches. Yeah. So I've always been I always donate to the food banks. I always donate to like the soup kitchens. That's where 99% of my charity money goes. So I figured this way I can do this. This is what I need to do.
cool.
No, no, but that's just it, Jen. I'm only going to be doing like one thing a stream. Um, just so that there's an idea of what to do with what people get like from a food bank or whatever. Right. That's nice. Exactly.
We have a
Exactly.
we have a church down the street, about a mile maybe, that once a month does that, where they bring in things that they've gotten and produce, and they will have, like, I don't know if they have mixtures of produce or what, but they have, um, like, we have gotten. There's two guys that work with Gary, and when they get all the extras, those guys take them and find people to give them to.
Yeah.
And Gary's come home with a grocery sack full of bananas once and oranges once, and the best one was when he came home with the onions. I was like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
bananas I could I don't care.
Yeah.
But
But I mean, that kind of stuff. I remember seeing that a lot of the food banks say they get so much things like craft dinner, and people don't have margarine to make it. They don't have the milk to make it. If they get milk powder in, again, it's separated. You don't get that much of it. Um, so, and when I was doing the cooking course, I was taking all that into consideration and making up recipes or doing recipes that I knew of to utilize that kind of item. So anyway, I'm pumped that they sounded very excited. They wanted to touch base with me before they went into a meeting, and they sounded very, very happy.
awesome.
Croutons with chili, very cool. See, that's just it. When they get to buy, or get to choose 4 loaves of stale or bread, they need ideas other than sandwiches and bread and whatever they've got to use it for. Oh well, anyway, that's what Sundays are going to be now.
I think it's a good choice.
It's something I know how to do, and yeah, and this way it's going to help both sides of the border,
Yep.
right? Like, yeah. Oh, I'm so excited.
Maybe I'll start cooking just from watching you.
Maybe.
I do cook, just not very often.
Yeah, I cook lots, often.
I foresee in our future towards retirement that maybe I will cook more.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
seriously, we went out for supper last weekend before. So I had a Philly cheesesteak sandwich, and it came with soup. And Ron got a burger and fries. We both had coffee, and we split a piece of cheesecake because it was Black Forest cheesecake, and had to try it, right? So we had that, and we split the cheesecake, and the bill was $90.
Whoa.
Yeah, we don't go out to eat often. Oh yeah, French toast casserole is perfect, perfect. So anyway, That also depends if they get eggs. And I also just saw somebody posted the price of eggs at her local grocery store. She's in California. $17 for a dozen eggs. $10 for a dozen eggs. No way, guys. Like that's ridiculous. But I mean, and they're saying prices are going to go higher. How? No. We have to learn how to go back to the basics. Okay, stop it. Off your soapbox here.
Well,
I know.
I made a decision on our Easter eggs
Yeah,
for the kids. We're
yeah.
not coloring eggs this year.
Well, no, it's. I feel like I'm very fuzzy. I'm sorry.
We're gonna well, because I buy them, I make them an Easter basket and all that anyway. But by the time I would buy enough eggs for the kids to, um, find a dozen eggs apiece, and even Riley still,
Yeah,
hunts eggs, and I want him to as long as he wants to.
yeah,
I bought the gold plastic eggs from Dollar Tree,
yeah.
and I bought. Well, actually, Erin picked them up because she found them first. So I have 20, but I'm thinking I want to get a little more, and I'm going to put a dollar bill in each one of them.
Nice.
It's
Very
still
nice.
spend the same amount, but they're going to get the money and be so excited.
That's right. That's right.
Wow,
Yeah, we all.
$39 for 60 eggs.
I know. That's what I was just looking at. Holy crap.
Well, we just had to buy eggs the other day. I don't know what they were, but last time we were in Kansas, my brother has chickens. So now he and my sister and my dad, they don't have to buy eggs, but yeah, my
Well, I
in-laws don't have to buy eggs.
I can get 2.5 dozen, like a flat of eggs, at the farm for $8.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the way I buy my eggs because I do all those freezer wraps and that kind of thing, right? So, yeah, I've still got the plastic eggs from when my kids were little. I have to do something with them. Don't know what.
I saw something, I don't know, somebody here might have even posted it, I don't know. This is I cracked an egg open and pantyhose fell out.
Yeah. Do you remember those legs or whatever?
Yep. When we went through mom's stuff, there was still one of those eggs.
That's awesome.
Do they still make them? I wonder. I've
I
never
don't
looked.
know. I don't know if they even make pantyhose anymore. I can't even. I haven't bought any in years.
I have two packages of brand new ones in my felting box, and I buy the cheap Dollar Tree or cheapest knee highs that I can find because they work wonderful for making felt beads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have quite a few colored ones that I'll put candy in them. Um, my oldest grandson has this thing about metal. He does not like metal. It bothers him, the sound of metal touching metal. He doesn't use metal silverware. And, of course, his parents or his dad has been very, in my opinion, a little too vocal about it. But at my house, I have all plastic everything for him because, I'm grandma, I'm supposed to.
That's right.
And he doesn't even like coins. There's been times when he's ran to get something, ran into a convenience store or something, and he comes out with his sleeve pulled down and his change in his hand, so the money's not touching him.
Yeah.
And so I decided that's why part of the reason I decided on the dollar bills,
Yeah.
you know.
Definitely.
And they're always more excited with dollar bills. They're not stupid. That's better than a coin.
Yes.
The little ones won't know. They'll be missing the candy.
Yeah. But they
Right.
don't need candy either, right?
True. And the reason they're we're not well, I'm not putting little toys in them because Avery still.
Puts everything in their mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be responsible for that.
Nope. I get you. I get you. My oldest grandson had to taste everything. So he was out in the shop and he's picking up like the dust broom full of sawdust and licking it. And kid's got constitution of an ox. And I'm sure it's because he was, licking the table legs and stuff out in the shop.
Is there anything he doesn't eat now?
Oh no, he's excellent. He's out of all my kids, he's wonderful.
So
Absolutely.
he eats just about everything.
Yep.
Oh,
I can cook anything for that kid.
Avery used to lick the couch,
Oh,
and she eats everything.
yeah.
Everything. She likes things I don't even like. She can eat sour cream as sour cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just as a
Yeah. As a side dish.
yeah.
Yeah.
She does like finger paint with it sometimes, but
Yes.
she's gotten better at that too.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Jen. I think this is pretty cool. I think it needs a blue in there. There's little hints of blue, but I think it needs like a turquoise in there. And then I may have to come back with another sparkly of some sort. But mostly you can't even tell it's yarn until you look close at it, and you really have to look because those could just be wrinkles in the fabric, not yarn. But I really like this. I like how it turned out. The sad part is I have a big bag of these little balls in the garage sale that I'm going to have to go pull out because I really want to make some boho snowmen,
Yeah.
you know.
Me too. But I'm just making little peckers now because I can.
Yeah, I have green, and the pinks I have aren't good pinks. I need like a hot pink. So I'm going to
Yeah.
go dig out some more of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still needs more. I just don't know how much more. Well, Kim, we've been over 2.5 hours.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Miss Allie asked, what size of hook are you using?
I am using two
Wow,
slash zero.
that's a little.
Yeah.
But I have a 12, and it's so tiny, crazy tiny.
Yeah. I've got those in the other room. Those I can't use anymore. My eyesight's not good enough. But
Yeah. Oh,
yes, we are having lots of fun. But this is way long. Way long.
yep.
Yes.
My eyes, 2.5 hours is just as long as my eyes really go.
Yeah.
Then they need a break. So I think we're going to call it. Next week, we're on Kim's channel.
Yes. Next week we're on my channel.
And I don't know what we're doing.
I thought we were doing 2 weeks of Scrappy Balls, but we don't have to. let's well, we'll figure something out. We're good at figuring something out, and we'll try and figure it out before we start, because a lot of times it'll be 10 o'clock Friday morning, and we'll go, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? So I
Yeah.
will endeavor to have that figured out. And yeah, so thanks, guys. Really appreciate you guys being here. And Sunday is going to be, we're, it could be a catastrophe. It could be a lot of fun, but
Well, it'll have its bumps till you get it figured out.
it will have its bumps till I get it figured out. I already know where I want the camera set up, etc. I just have to see if I can actually hang it off the cupboard the way I want it. You know how that goes.
Oh, I wish I could send you some stuff. I have a big tripod.
Well, I've got Ron's big camera tripod as well, but I mean, I'm using my camera that's attached to my computer here, but I think for that I'm going to end up using my phone. I don't know. I'll see if I could use my tablet. It's going to be there's probably going to be a few test runs over the next couple of days as
Mm-hmm.
well. So, yeah. So anyway, thank you very much for hosting, Jean. I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you for being here.
It's always a blast.
It is.
And next week we're going to have some sort of scrappy something for
Yes,
sure.
we are. Some other off the wall project.
Yeah, for sure. So thanks, guys, everybody, for being here, everybody in the balcony and the replayers. And Jean.
And Kim.
All right.
All
See
right.
you guys
See
soon.
you all
Good night.
next week.
Bye.
Bye.